One ecosystem, you know them. We not frightened for nobody, but we respect everybody, and we better than everybody. So we will run with anybody. No fear, no better than we. No kind, no better than we. Step on me one and say, one ecosystem to the world you say. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not talking. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not bag of lip chasing. Hey, hey.
Financial advisors. Awesome. Good evening. Brother Noel, take it from here. One ecosystem. I love it.
All right. Good evening to Trinidad and Tobago. Good evening, Caribbean. And good evening, world. This is the show Beyond 21, an exciting show. This evening, Beyond 21, that is a show where we get into the emerging technologies, digital currencies, virtual assets, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, the metaverse. All of these technologies have been built upon us. It is March the 9th, 2022. And we're here once again. Myself, Brother Michael Jackie, I'm also on co-host. This is Donna Samba Singh and her husband, Wife Samba Singh. And we also have Mr. Dwayne in the house. This evening, we're having an exciting discussion, part 2 of central bank digital currencies and also cryptocurrencies. We started part 1 last week and we'll get into part 2. We have some exciting things to share with you all. We want you to participate in this wonderful show. So welcome all to the momentum of this. Let me begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
I love it. Put my disclaimer. Let me read my disclaimer for you before we even go into this meeting. Heat in the place. You notice I was easing up a message just now. Last week was hot to trot. Let me tell you something. I had to open it. Put my first sentence there. Central bank on cryptocurrencies. No restrictions on purchases. Is that true? Or is that a conflicting statement? That's where we were last week. We were discussing that. We were talking about that. And we had people from the Philippines. Remember? I know you thought my memory was going, but I take my ginseng this evening. I have it up, kiddies. You see how the hairstyle looking? It's heat in the place. Don't worry. Listen, put my first sentence, my first paragraph there from last week. Because I want to read it so my audience will understand. Trinidad and Tobago, let me tell you something, eh? People need to know what is happening in the world around us, and we need to know. Trinidad and Tobago Central Bank said last week that it is not blocking commercial banks from selling foreign exchange to their customers to purchase cryptocurrencies. Now, you see that opening statement? We ended at the next slide. I want to go to number 8 as it stands. Let's just do a little jump. PJ in the back there will give me a jump. He will put me on that. Because here what happened. We discussed last week. Is there conflict? People are saying that the bank is preventing them from buying foreign exchange to purchase cryptocurrency. It is happening. Either some people crazy or the bank crazy. But Republic Bank said they allow you to do it. Now tonight we're going to get deeper into that discussion because I myself wanted to know because I was blocked. I didn't know why, because they say you're allowed 200 in my bank, and I couldn't even use $30. Just $10 I couldn't even use. So it seems one bank not telling the other bank what is happening. And we need to get this cleared up so that we will know, hey, I can't do this or I could do this. But then I see big things happening down the road in the US, and we follow them. So here what, I ain't going to bust it yet. I'll go wait until it get a little heated. So let's get into tonight's topic. We're going to continue discussing what we were last week. Let's find out if there are conflicts. If maybe we misunderstood what was being said by the bank. Because I do know in my little head, my husband is the accountant in the family, but central bank set down rules that they follow. Okay, is that correct? That the bank's supposed to follow. And Clifford?
Yeah,
Right. So when one bank saying is not to happen and our next bank saying is to happen, what really is to happen? That's our question.
The tail begins to wag the dog.
Oh gosh, and the dog is even barking loud. He's been very quiet, so we need to watch that. Because I want to know. So guys, take it over. Let's get the first highlight.
Dwayne wanted to say something.
Dwayne, Katie, do you want to say something? You know when I get hot on my seat, how I am.
Greetings, people. Exciting times. We heard some rollouts coming on the US side today that has the market on the up and up. We'll discuss that a little later down the road. But of course, with every passing day, Donna, I am excited to be a part of this project. The reason being is because we are seeing everything that we were told about in the beginning to come to fruition.
That's right. Course,
we're well positioned for the advent of usability of cryptocurrency. And when persons begin to educate themselves and see the value of being part of a community and holding a digital asset that appreciates and isn't subject to market manipulation and speculation, I know that there's going to be a tidal wave of viewers. I've had a feedback from a lot of different persons who see our show on Gael and they say, hey, you're doing well, boy, and you're going good, and Mr. Finance, Mr. Bitcoin. Guys, listen, the only way you are going to benefit from what I'm involved in is positioning yourself. So listen,
that's right.
Come off the fence, get involved in our project, and see yourself holding a digital asset that appreciates in value, guys. So that's my 2 coins, as Merle would say.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Good night. Well, I think tonight you will name the show Donna in Concert. Right? The way she started off now. All right.
I love it.
But before we get into the discussion, I want to send out congratulations to the West Indies women cricketers out there.
They did well.
Yeah, 2 victories in the World Cup. For those of you not following up, and they beat people who seeded above them.
Yes.
They're teaching lessons to us. When people say you can't, you dig in and show you can. They're rallying together. At times they ain't playing good cricket. I've been honest with you. I've been looking at the games. At times they have been playing good cricket. But so what they're showing, I've seen one word called solidarity. And I think with that they say a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Well, I believe because of solidarity, the weakest link is bound even stronger. So West Indies team, women, hats off to you. Karen Pollard, you and your men could take notes from that. I see the West Indies test team fighting back today too. Very good. Let me give it to the English on them. Although we have some English IMAs, good night, good morning to you guys up there. All right, love is in your house still.
Shout out to Uganda. Shout out to Uganda.
Yes, shout out. Yeah.
I also want to make mention for 2 things that I see this Russian invasion of Ukraine as exposed. Right? I know it comes a lot of bitterness. However, I want to show, I want to thank the invasion for exposing that it seems to me, based on what I'm seeing, the COVID is no longer an issue. Because I see in the exodus from Ukraine all the time, people couldn't mingle. You gotta keep your distance with mask on and thing, people dropping down. But I see in the Exodus, they had no mask. People on the buses and so on, going, nobody in, studying COVID. They didn't show you nobody dropped down at all from COVID. So it seems to me that if this invasion had taken place a year earlier, probably COVID would have gone a year earlier too. All right. However, that is one aspect. The second aspect, and more at home, is that I realize I saw where during this invasion, Ukraine has decided to adopt cryptocurrency because their money system has broken down. Understand that? Ukraine has adopted that. Russia has gone ahead and decided, listen, they're getting more serious on regularizing and legalizing cryptocurrency. Russia doing that.
And he's in the place
I
again.
see Trump, one of Trump's advisors when he was in government, has, I don't know if this would have been probably in the works, I don't know if it has been fast-tracked now. He has now formed some company in the Middle East, and they have crypto connections. I'm looking at my basketball games because since baseball right now, they have a lockout. So they're showing more basketball games than anything else. And you know, at a number of the arenas where the basketball players are playing, do you know that the sponsorship is by various crypto exchanges? Right. This is in the States.
That's right.
So all I want to say is that this last week has, boy, if you don't want to take our word for it, it's hitting you in your face out there. You understand? Read between the lines. Those who, how the Bible says, those who have eyes, let them see. Those who have ears, let them hear.
That's right.
Right? And we have been preaching high and low, far and wide. Guys, take heed of what we say now. It coming fast. But you hear what Dwayne KD say? It ain't matter nothing if all you're doing is hearing us and you do not position yourself.
That's right.
Position yourself.
That is so
all right.
true.
Otherwise, here what's going on. You're going to be just an educated jackass at the end, because you're lapping up all the information and you're taking no action. Don't be an educated jackass. All right. So
yes.
I hope EJ didn't have to bleep me for that. Right. So Donna know. What's
yes. I want to say something.
I want to say something. I want to repeat what I said yesterday.
But I know your mic not coming through clear.
Yeah, you're not hearing it clearly, bro.
Right, hear me much better now?
Yeah, a little. Right.
All right, what I'm saying, I just want to take reference to what I said last week. Tipping our hats to the one system, because we are ones. We are as the ones.
You need to fine tune a bit more.
Not hearing you, brother.
But I know you need to fine tune a bit more.
All right. Now.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
Yeah, better, lots better. Great.
I just want to make a reference to what I said last week, right, about tipping our hats off to the one ecosystem, because we were the ones for 5+ years articulating the whole idea about cryptocurrency, organic cryptocurrency. We were the ones educating the masses, even though there were misapprehensions and skepticism and doubt, and people were not taking us on. But the who's who, the major players, the big players, the banks, and I'm saying it loud and clear for everybody to hear, the big banks, the big corporations, they're all in the game long before us, just like they were in the Forex game. We are at the bottom of the ladder. There's a pyramid running the world, and the banks are on top, and the major corporations. But we have been saying to people that there is a change coming to our monetary system, where the world is going digital. What's the sense you have a smartphone? What's the sense you're on Facebook, the metaverse? You know, all these apps and so on, communicating and doing whatever you do, and not realize that the world is going with digital assets, cryptocurrency. So central bank is just now revealing it before they blocked us. They will seize our accounts. Remember that? We had trouble to purchase crypto. But now they're talking about it. But who started it first? Who were talking about it all the time? And yet people not listening. So you heard very carefully Mr. Joseph Biden, the President of the United States. You heard the discussion where they are now always been competing with other powers like Russia and China. And now they are adopting or seeking to put into position regulatory frameworks. People, those of you viewing, you need to become very serious. There's a lot happening in the world. It may appear that COVID is over, but there are a lot more to come when it comes to management of finance, financial diversity, and other assets that are very important to secure wealth, to leave a legacy, to give you economic freedom. So I hope that you are certainly paying attention, viewing this program, taking cognizance and taking action, as Cliff said, position yourself. I met a lady some time ago, Donna Cliff KDs, and she told me she looked at this program. She said, this program was so interesting. It was so exciting. She said, when you're all on again, let me know. I met another individual in Arima, and I told him about the program. He said, yes, I saw this program. So a lot of people are looking at our programs. I encourage you to continue to look, engage us in the discussion, participate in this forum here where you can learn more about the One ecosystem. Thank you.
I love it.
Yes.
To our viewers, knowledge only becomes power when it's applied. So all the viewership that we are enjoying from you guys will benefit you in no way until you actively participate and interact with our ecosystem. Right, guys? We appreciate it. We appreciate the kudos. We appreciate the forwards, as you would say. But what we want to do is we want you to benefit from the value that we have to offer from joining our global community and participating in a cryptocurrency that is universal, that is in 194 countries of the world, and that can be utilized to make payments for goods and services. And of course, Brother Noel, exactly what you said at the beginning of your rollout. Listen, we need to stop being so consumer-minded and create value for ourselves and create value for our children, right? Because the corporations have positioned themselves, the bank have positioned themselves. They are deeply invested in cryptocurrency. How much have you put on the table? Christmas came and went. How many of you purchased some BTC and put it in a digital wallet for your children? Now, today, the prices are up again. And BTC is tipped to go to 100,000 plus US. That is money that some of us can't work for in 2 lifetimes, right? And you have an asset that can do the work for you. Come on, guys, get with the program, get involved.
I like that. You see, if you purchase BTC for Christmas, it don't make noise, it don't go poop, poop, it don't blow smoke, it don't do anything. It just sits there. But we're going to...
Lena from Kanda.
Hi, Lena. How are you? Lena from Sweden. It's nice to have you on. We're going to discuss and continue to talk about this conflict between what is happening in our country with the banks. As it stands, most commercial banks, that's where we ended last week, in TNT, do not allow the purchase of cryptocurrencies except for Republic Bank. And it was continued there, going on to 10 and 11. Right after that, bring it back up for me, please, because it was showing where the manager of Republic Bank was stating, bring back up, right, thank you. She was stating that they do that. The risk, however, is borne by the customer, not the bank. But it would appear some banks don't agree with that statement. My money, but you control how I spend it. Let's roll to 10 and 11. Let's go to 10, highlight 10 and 11 for me, where it says for customers who opt to use their credit cards to purchase cryptocurrencies, their foreign exchange limit is the monthly individual limit on their cards. We are not trading in cryptocurrency. We are not selling Bitcoin or Ethereum. What we are doing is allowing persons, not companies, but individuals who want to use their credit cards to purchase it. If they sell their investment in the cryptocurrency, the returns that they get can be deposited into their bank accounts. That is what the manager of Republic Bank, the general manager, of Republic Bank
general
said.
manager of a particular department.
Oh, sorry, of a particular department said. I apologize. But the thing about it is, there seems to be a confusion in my mind as to what is really the reality of that.
Right.
Guys, what do you think?
Put back up that shaded area again for me, please. That paragraph. Yeah. Look at that last part. Look at this. In a paraphrasing what they're saying. They say, listen, the bank is in, we don't trade in cryptocurrency. That is correct. All right. And what we are doing is allowing persons, however, not companies, but they're saying, but persons who want to use a credit card to purchase it, which are, as we discussed last week, that is what they say. A number of persons have not seen that happening. In fact, right? This is what they're saying. However, there's the part that I have a little challenge with. The bank is then saying, now tell me if you think this is correct. The bank is then saying, even though we're telling you that is a risky thing, and we're not endorsing that, all right? However, when you sell your investment in crypto, come back to the bank and bring your money here now.
That's right.
You know what that remind me of, boy, Dwayne and Brother Noel? You meet a woman, you carry the woman home to meet your mother. Your mother cried down that woman and tell you all kind of thing, and you telling your mother, no, that is not true. The woman is a good girl, and your mother telling you about the girl great grandfather and what he was like, so she go be just like them, and she crying down all the thing.
Right.
So you decide here what's going on. You see me, I living with this woman. Mommy is my mother, but I'm not taking your advice. When I and the woman have we first child, you know, mommy claiming the child and so, God, look how sweet the child is and that kind of thing. So how are you, especially as a woman, is supposed to feel now? You cannot accept me because you say my bloodline is impure for you. However, my child is okay for you. You understand? I don't know if people don't feel rubbed the wrong way by that, but that's how I felt. You understand? You're telling me, listen, first of all, you're hoodwinking people and telling them that, listen, you could borrow the money to get the crypto, even though we don't endorse it because we know it's highly risky, right? Even though we, the banks, know we are going to follow suit and we're going to then sell you all what we presented, all right? But I'm telling you right now, it's risky. However, when you see that risky thing you get into and it pay off for you, come back, no man. Come back. We're going to be waiting there for you to receive your money. Well, guys, I ain't lying to you. I want to tell you, the cryptocurrency is growing and it is forming what you call, before it used to be what you call an underground economy. Now it is no longer an underground economy because you have ATMs, visible ATMs where you can cash your crypto. Okay. So it is no longer underground. It is not mainstream, but it is no longer underground. It is getting to a point where I am even seeing on Bloomberg News, where crypto news is always in the forefront. Sure. Bloomberg News, which is always about the US dollar and the impact on stocks and commodities and so on, yet cryptocurrency is now there mentioned almost daily in Bloomberg News. And Bloomberg, as you know, is the head of business in the network, right? Yet, you know going to be quickly wanting to sell your crypto as soon as you see you get a profit to go back into the bank. The same banks who frown on you. Guys, if I were you, I would pause here, but I can't see that as an option. And I would tell the bank, thank you, but no thanks. I know, you see, long ago, my grandfather used to tell me to have something called a fair with a friend. A fair with a friend is a friend who only around when it's good times. And when you're looking for them in times of trouble, they know where to be found. That is the bank. When you're down, hard pressed and out, the bank is not there to bail you out. That is not the job. The bank is to ensure they secure the interests of their shareholders. Correct? You understand? And bailing you out is not securing the interests of their shareholders. I have no problem with the bank securing the interests of shareholders because you're in business. However, at the end of the day, don't sell yourself as that. Right? And people must understand what the bank serves. All right? Don't mix up the roles. Don't go by the dentist if your foot, you have a problem with your foot. All right? Don't mix up the roles. All right?
Cliff.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Yes, that practice is discriminatory. It is classist. What are the banks doing? What are the banks doing with our money?
Make
What are
money.
they doing with our money? They're not investing it in crypto as well?
A forex.
Part of their
crypto,
financial portfolio.
insurance.
You're talking the bank business.
They are investing in crypto, right? They shouldn't be concerned about what we do with our money, whether we get into crypto or any other asset class, right? Once we're dealing with the bank fairly and squarely, they should not have an issue as to if you're buying crypto or not.
Correct.
If you're into speculation or if you're into volatility, or let's say you're doing something that would not work, right? If you're borrowing a loan from the bank, right? Well, the bank should be concerned about that. But I mean, you are to be responsible for the management of your money. They shouldn't say, well, okay, I would not lend you money because you're investing into crypto, when they themselves are investing in crypto. And when all the major banks and corporations are involved in crypto, that's not, to me, a fair thing. It's not a just thing. It's not a good
You know something, Brother Noel, good point, but you know something? I'm taking myself off of this show. I am a person who just in the community. Hear what? I was cultured from very young to put my money in the bank. The bank was the best place to have my money. It was the safe place. And if I needed a loan, the bank would give me a loan. And I could take that loan and go and buy a car or pay down on a house or do something. You have to understand the thinking. It is only now that things have opened up where we are able to understand what is happening in the background of the bank. You know. We didn't know that before. It's when that crash took place in
2008.
2008. We started to realize, wait, what is going on? I never knew the bank used to use my money. I never knew that. I see my money in a nice, safe place and it's good.
With your name on it?
With my name on it. I thought when I go to the pull a draw, I said, this is your draw. You understand? And that is how people see it. People don't see it in any other way. The thing about it is nothing is wrong. The bank is a system of safety for us to put our money in. But you need to know how it works. You need to know how the banks work. You need to understand what is happening in the background. So when you try to tell me I can't do certain things with my money, it's like not my husband, eh? This is not about my husband. I'm telling you. It's like you're married to a man and you tell him you can't buy this and you can't buy that. You get $2 and you tell him make sure you get all the groceries for the house. What kind of madness is that? I'm trying to tell you, listen, you can't put your money there, you can't do this. That is called control.
Control. And Donna,
Okay?
if it is that the concepts that you just spoke about blows their mind, wait until they understand fractional reserve lending.
Whoa.
The fact that we can deposit $100 into the financial institution, right? And that same financial institution can now turn around and lend $1,000.
And that
900 of which was created out of thin air, that they don't have any commodity to back, that they might not even have any physical cash to back, right? And then somebody now has to work to pay back the capital plus interest. Now, if
Something
I,
else, you know,
if
magic
I,
wonderland.
if I undertake or somebody undertakes to do something for me and I write them a check from an account that is deficit in nature or doesn't have any monies in it, right? I'm going to be taken to the fraud squad. I'm going to be prosecuted to the hilt, right? But the financial institutions can do it without any recourse. So we need, and they need to be held to account, and the public needs to be educated. So guys, this is one of the reasons why you need to get the introduction to finance. When you get that package, you will understand what we are speaking about right now and why it is you need to be educated about banks and banking and commerce. And these terms that we're talking about won't be something airy-fairy to you. They will come very real to you. You'll be able to identify assets and you'll be able to make better decisions. Finance.
That's right.
Level 1, finance.
I agree with you. That's why the one ecosystem is so important, because what we are doing is making you aware. Cryptocurrency is no longer an underground economy. It is almost parallel. It's like when Michelle talked about the tale of two cities. It's coming up to that, two economies. The thing about it, it is coming up to that. It is moving. You look around the world and see what is happening. When it hits the USA, then people will start to say, oh gosh, that's real. You know, that's real. Well, let me tell you something. It's real already.
Yes.
It's already here. It is growing. It is a commodity that people are using around the world. Where is Trinidad? What are we doing?
You know when it is
Even
going
in
to be.
Barbados,
You know
they
when
have
it is going to hit the fan? Very soon.
All right.
When the US says, "Listen, we officially digitizing the dollar."
They're
Right now,
regulating cryptocurrencies.
yeah, but they're going to introduce their own digital dollar.
Actual bank.
When the US then introduces their digital dollar, that is when all of a sudden everybody's going to wake up. Because you know, it's only when Uncle Sam says so,
That's
it
right.
should be so. However, it's like if the rest of the world, when you look at Russia, China, India, and them who have their own laws, right, and have been running in that direction, and it reminds me of I saw a thing where because of the invasion, you know, Putin got blacklisted. So, for instance, CNN block him. You understand? They put up sanctions against a number of the industries and people and businesses in Russia.
And you know,
right?
oil going to kick up for that because he will block the oil.
But a whole number of things so that they leave out Russia out of the thing. And you know, Russia, they now say that, wait, Russia now has a more pure economy because of all the contaminants that not there. Imagine that's what they're saying, and I said, oh, what the heck is this, boy? That is what they're referring to the West as contaminants. You understand? So guys, understand that we are trying to bring the news to you there before the US makes it official. That's all. By the time the US makes it official, the opportunity gone, you know. They go on.
Right. But let me continue reading because that. All right, you know what? I have something to tell you before we go. In response to questions, let's put a pin right there and we are coming back at you. Take a break.
Get started now. Get started with your One Academy package. Get started with your starter package. It's only $1,600 TT. Get your financial education from the One Academy. Although it's a beginner package, the information you're going to get from your One Academy starter package, you would have more knowledge than 90% of the world's population on finance for just $1,600 TT. Let's create a revolution. Let's spread the epidemic of our One Academy, One Life. Get it today.
Welcome to the Antediluvian Nature Center of Life Extension and Health Recovery. Coming from the Garden of Eden, the Antediluvian Nature Center brings to you breakthrough medicines and anti-aging technologies for all ailments and diseases in the body, nutritional therapies, naturopathic treatments, as we create opportunities of hope and celebrate longevity. And remember, the healing is from God.
Do you know? What am I speaking about? Do you know what is cryptocurrency? Do you know what is blockchain technology? Are you aware of what we currently face on a regular basis with quantitative easing, fractional reserve lending? Do you know? I am inviting you to come out of the financial darkness and into financial light. The only way for us to achieve that is with education. And one particular type of education is what I'm speaking about. I'm asking you to join the One Academy. It is a financial revolution of teaching regarding introduction to finance, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, helping you understand the world of money and what is money. What is money? Money is simple. It is what we agree upon to exchange for goods and services. If you want full comprehension, join the One Academy.
Yes, we back. I love it. In response to questions from the Sunday Express, the central bank said it hopes to make a decision on a possible pilot project for a central bank digital currency by mid-year. They should say control digital currency, because that is what it is all about, still being in control, still being there. But by mid-2022, we expect to be very close to a decision on a possible pilot. This is what they're saying. Meanwhile, our focus is on improving the payments system, the set of arrangements that allow consumers, businesses, and other organizations to transfer funds to one another by promoting more widespread, safe, and efficient electronic financial transactions.
Quote the article and the date for them, Donna, in case people want to see
yes, thank you. Don't worry, I had enough to the top, and I will bring the dates for you so that people will know. The article is Central Bank on Cryptocurrencies, No Restrictions on Purchases by Ashdod Javid, February 27, 2022.
Thank you.
Trinidad Express.
The Trinidad Express, thank you. Daily Express. It's the legal papers.
First of all, in listening to Donna read those things, I keep hearing the words, it is hoped. It is hoped. It means now, from what I'm hearing, there is no clear-cut date set. All right? I remember 2 budgets ago, the government talking about setting up a task force to see how we go about digitizing the economy. I don't know if you guys remember that. 2 budgets ago. Right? During the last time, during the year, you didn't really hear much. I suppose they would say, well, it's COVID and all of that there. All right? I am saying that, listen, this it is hope talk. We have to be more definite than that. When a private institution is going in a particular direction and they had to talk to the shareholders, you can't tell your shareholders that kind of language. You have to tell your shareholders, listen, we envision we doing so, by so. And you put down, you set your times. Why? Because they are going to hold you responsible for it. Right? I don't see a commitment here by the central bank going there. All right. Let's say we give them the benefit of the doubt that I am wrong. They're going so. If you are still saying, based on the last paragraph that Donna read, that you want to have a more efficient electronic payment system, why is it the urgency to have new dollar bills? coming into circulation, when the electronics payment system is what is more priority being given according to that. Again, you are giving me mixed signals. Understand what I'm saying? I just listen, guys. Maybe because of how I grew up, I just don't take it at what all you say. I try to read between the lines. All right, and it just ain't adding up to me. So all that we're saying is yes, the bank. Remember, we started off by saying, are we seeing the bank and the bank report here being totally transparent? And I am saying here I don't feel it. Right? Yes.
Today, I had the privilege to be in the Treasury of Trinidad and Tobago. I was there.
All right. They must feel like a VIP boy in the Treasury.
So I was there on behalf of my organization, so on my day job's time, right? And so I was there, and in observing how business was carried out in the institution, it left me to wonder if a lot of the employees really understand what this impact in terms of digital technology will do for their system. Because with the blockchain comes automatic verification, comes automatic transparency, and a lot of the job functions that these people carry out on a daily basis will become redundant.
That's right.
Right? Now, what I recognize is that in terms of these rollouts, a lot of people carry out their functions in isolation. So they don't understand the big picture when it is actually rolled out, because their part of the plan is being executed in isolation. So it's like a need-to-know basis. And a lot of them don't need to know that in time to come, their job functions are going to become redundant because of the emergence of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. And that they have now to be able to retool themselves for this emerging technology. They need to re-educate themselves to reintegrate back into society, as it were. Because listen, you know what it is that you wake up one morning and the job that has provided your income and the means by which your family survived for the last 3 or 4 decades becomes null and void, right? And you know, in your mid-50s or in your mid-40s, have to come up with a plan to replace that income, right? To meet all those commitments that you have to various financial institutions and schools and other organizations that play part and parcel to your life. It's not an easy thing to deal with, mentally, psychologically, emotionally. And it's going to take a resilient person to be able to bounce back from that kind of shock. Right? So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about reality. This is not no pie in the sky thing. This is not something that we're talking about that will never be instituted. Folks, listen, it's on our doorstep, right? And a lot of you who weren't thinking about the future or putting things in place, this is your reality. Beyond 2021 is your reality check. You have to diversify your portfolio. The new assets in the world is digital, and you need to reposition yourself. We're not saying house and land, a fraction of what you currently hold or your savings, part of your savings, converted from the fiat world to the digital world, and see an asset that will help you navigate through these difficult times along with the education.
Well said, Dwayne. I was just talking to Cliff about the airport, and it happened in the airport where people had to realize, hey, I am being replaced by technology.
Dwayne, you carry back my mind to a little incident I saw a couple of years ago. I'd painted over my vehicle, right? All you know how the vehicle blue and so on. So I changed the color. So when you change the color, you had to carry it into the licensing office and let them see it and verify it. So whilst there, I'm waiting and I'm talking to the license officer and I say, boy, because he could be about in his 40s. And I say, how you all preparing for when they have driverless cars, right? Because I suppose the licensing department would have to change up a lot of the officers ain't go have these duties to perform, so I suppose some of them might have to be cut off because you wouldn't need so many licensed officers because number of things. I am just thinking so.
Mm-hmm.
So I say so.
Then the car to go in the line
So,
and get a license.
so I say so. How are you all preparing yourselves for that thing? And the gentleman watchman tell me, you have to study that. That ain't go happen before I leave here. That if that happens, is after I don't leave. And I was like, oh Lord, you know, we too short-sighted, boy. We don't see down the road, and this is what I know. That is what a number. I wouldn't lie to you guys out here. When we came on, a number of persons were excited with us and they were running hard with us. Year 1, year 2, they're running hard. And when they realize year 3 come, and they say, but wait. This crypto thing ain't happening like we thought it would happen. They start to pull up a little bit. Now, our one ecosystem still going on, but they find out it didn't happen as the pace they wanted it. So they started to say, okay, you know something, boy, better we pull up and let we wait and see what will happen. So as far as they're concerned, they position themselves, yes. Right? So they did the safe thing, they position themselves in the one ecosystem. But remember what we are, with us, people, you have to understand, our cryptocurrency is, guess what? Not the coin really, you know. Our cryptocurrency is me and you who form the community.
That's right.
Our cryptocurrency is you and I who showing confidence in understanding, in using it. And because cryptocurrency is only alive when it is used.
It's just like money.
Right.
Isn't money only alive when it is used? It's the same thing, crypto money.
Right. So that a number of cryptocurrencies out there, however, is not live crypto. Why? Because people are just speculating. That is why the banks could make the suggestions here. When you sell your crypto, bring the returns back to us. Well, we are telling you guys what we have is the returns on it is what you could be able to purchase with it.
That's right.
The benefits you could get from it.
And the continuous increase in value.
I will not fool you and tell you, listen, right now, you could get a whole ton of stuff. But there are things that you can get. And the more persons who understand what we are offering, is the wider the service is going to be embraced. And that is why you see persons have called us from outside of Trinidad and Tobago last week, and even had a lady from Sweden.
That's right.
Who contacted us. You understand? So we have reached out into these countries out there, all right, and they understand the vision of where we're going. So please take a little time to understand what we have now. Position yourself and understand where we're going.
You know, I want to add something to what Cliff just said, especially to what about Noel and Katie. But a thought came to my mind while you were speaking, and I'm looking at somebody who was in good health. And they ate a lot of things, they didn't exercise, they did a lot of abuse to their body, okay?
But they're in good health?
No, they were in good health. So now they became ill, and maybe the doctor, a naturopath or a medical doctor said, listen, you have to do this, and you have to do that, or Brother Noel, because he's a naturopath. So you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do the other, you have to do... You know what the first thing you want to know? You expect when you take the first box, and Brother Noel, tell me if you ain't agree with it. You expect when you take the first box to get better. You took years to get sick. You did the wrong thing for years to get sick. And now time to get better, it's going to take even longer to get better. It's the same thing with the money. Money has been here for years doing things that, let's just say, not too right. A new currency, a new type of money is here. It is here to stay. Whether you believe in it, whether you trust it or not, it is here to stay.
Slowly gaining ground.
It's slowly gaining ground to become parallel with the money that you know. Aren't you going to position yourself? I said nothing more. I hand it over to Brother Noel and Katie.
Yes, you know, Cliff, you were making a point about the inconsistencies with what we saw in the article on the central bank digital currencies. You talked of the printing of the new money, the polymer note replacing the cotton note. Why will we do something like that when what is trending, what is in the pipelines,
True.
the major players, the major corporations of the world, the who's who of the world, people like Donald Trump, people like Warren Buffett, people like Sir Richard
Branson.
Branson, right? People like Oprah Winfrey, 50 Cent, Akon,
Floyd Mayweather.
all the big players
They're in it.
Just like we saying Cliff Samuel sing on that list, huh?
Yes. All the major players.
And wife.
All the major players are involved. All the major banks are involved. Why will you take a move like that? It is really inconsistent. It is really contradictory, and it is not sending the right signal as a progressive, technologically advanced nation. We playing games. We are just liturgical in our thinking, almost asinine in our thinking. We have the telecom authorities, and we have the scientists at UE and so on, and all kind of things happening around the world, and you're hearing no comments towards these advancing technologies. You listen to Elon Musk. You were talking about autonomous vehicles. Elon Musk is saying that in a short space of time, you will have driverless vehicles all over in a short space of time. They're talking of technologies of creating underground highways to deal with traffic. So much advances. That's all. Hold your thought. So much advances are happening in the metaverse space. Within 5 years, as we discussed some time ago, where are we with that? You know what is my belief, Cliff and Donna? Dwayne, my belief is just as how they change that polymer note, we will see coming in Europe, coming in the United States, coming right here in the Caribbean. Of course, we playing catch up, as a matter of fact, of that digital, central bank digital currency. That's what is going to happen. Because they are to the top of the pyramid and they are always in control.
That's
and
right.
the regulatory frameworks will allow for crypto. But you know what? We are well positioned because we were the first to have education. We educated the world. We were the first to have KYC encrypted on the blockchain. So we are really set to become part of the payment system.
Usability of our coins.
Well, listen, hey, as I see we just have a few minutes left in the program, and I want to ask the program administrator if you could just pull up our 1 minute video we have to kind of encapsulate what Brother Noel was saying. We have a 1 minute video showing you guys what a society who is going on blockchain technology, what they expect to achieve. And then I want the viewers to just take it out because we wouldn't have time to discuss it. But you guys have enough sense to take in that video. Only 1 minute, focus on it.
That was the video Mr. Show last week.
Yeah. So I ask any program administrator to, if you could pull up that video. All right? Pull it up. Viewers, take in this thing. And then tell.
Let me introduce you to the most online country in the world. Here, taxes are online, voting is online, schools are online, and the justice system is online. You can be a resident online without even visiting the country. Welcome to Estonia, where you can talk to your doctor over FaceTime and get medicine online. As soon as you are born, you get a digital ID. In kindergarten, they give you coding and robotics classes to make you as tech-friendly as possible. And people are not worried about online privacy because Estonia is also good at encryption. The internet is moving fast and the choice is very clear. Countries that adopt the internet will win the future, and the ones that don't will lose it. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow.
Rapid change, Cliff.
Wow.
That's
wow,
it.
Wow. Wow.
That's it, Katie. Can't get more rapid than that.
Yes.
I remember the Prime Minister likening him, Trinidad and Tobago to Estonia in the future. He spoke about that in the budget. I wonder how much of that have we start to put in place. Viewers out there, do you want your country, Trinidad and Tobago, to be developing to that pace? Right? We don't have time to discuss that. I just wanted persons to understand where a country who was nowhere about 20 years ago, Estonia was nowhere, but all they had is a vision, and look at where they reach. We talk about vision. Where are we? We are going to be playing catch up because our old Caribbean brothers and sisters already leaving us behind. I don't want to get into that now. I could call a number of islands that be playing catch up right now, right here in the Caribbean. And Trinidad and Tobago when Guyana started to use its oil dollars. Right?
In terms of usability, Cliff, I want to shout out one of our local merchants that I would have purchased some fruits from just about a week ago, Miss Shobha Gopichan Singh. And
big up to Shobha.
Yes,
this is to bring it practical to our viewers, right? Guys, it's about adding value to the world and creating value for yourself. So I would have bought fruits from her with a combination of cash and crypto, right? Now, what we are doing is we are trying to build out our community. And when people understand the nature of the crypto asset and why holding it is so important and transacting business, giving persons an opportunity to use their crypto right here in Trinidad and Tobago, what that is going to do, that is going to benefit not only us here in Trinidad and Tobago, but all of our global participants, right? And by design, the reverse happens. So any other economic activity happens in Sweden, where Lena is. It happens in Uganda, where our other viewers are. Happens in the Philippines. Happens in France. Happens in Estonia. Happens in Romania, Ukraine, Bulgaria, wherever that activity happens. We experience a shared value, and our common currency appreciates, and we benefit in that. So you know what happens over time? Instead of experiencing the powers of inflation, where our money loses value over time, we actually see a value appreciation and our buying power increases. And that is one of the main reasons why I got into the community. And that is one of the reasons why I've stayed this long. And I'll continue to chart a course forward so that my future generations, the legacy that I leave for them is a digital asset that appreciates in value over time, that will give them an opportunity to change the direction or the course of their future.
Brother Noel.
Yes.
Well said, Dwayne. Well said, guys.
I was making the point that we would design for regulation and not speculation. We would design to be incorporated into the payment systems of the world with a stable cryptocurrency that is appreciating in value and usability. Based on the light of what is happening all around the world, people, it's just a no-brainer to get involved with the one ecosystem. I encourage you, get involved with the one ecosystem. God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you. Have a great one. Be back next week. Join us. Don't miss out. You don't know what we'll be coming with, but we know we'll be taking you into the future and beyond 2021.
Have an awesome week, people. Trinidad and Tobago, much love.
Much love.
One ecosystem, you know them. We not frightened for nobody, but we respect everybody, and we better than everybody. So we will run with anybody. No fear, no better than we. No kind, no better than we. Step on me one and say, one ecosystem to the world you say. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not talking. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do do something, uno do something, and no bag of lip chasing. Hey.